Today we are going to discuss about our second topic of geometry, which is triangle. First of all, let us understand what is a polygon. Polygon is a closed plane figure. It's a closed plane figure, a geometrical figure bounded by the line segment segments is called a polygon. Now, naming of a polygon, it is on the basis of number of line segments or the number of sides of the polygon. In the definition of polygon, I mentioned that it is a closed plane figure bounded by line segments. Then these line segments are called sides of the polygon. Alright, so naming of the polygon depends on the number of sides or number of line segments which form or constitute the polygon. So on this basis, I am drawing a table. Number of sides, name of the polygon. 3 number of sides, it is called a triangle. It is denoted by this sign, a small triangle. If number of sides are 4, then it is called a quadrilateral. If number of sides are 5, then it is called a pentagon. Number of sides 6, then it is called a hexagon. 7, heptagon. Similarly for 8, it is called octagon. For 9, it is called nonagon. And for 10, it is called decagon. And similarly, for more number of sides, there are other names. Now you can see that the minimum number of sides required to form a polygon is 3, because without 3 line segments you cannot form a closed figure. 2 line segments only can form at max an angle. If 2 line segments are coinciding, then they overlap each other and do not form. These are 2 coinciding line segments. So they cannot form a closed figure because there is no region between those lines. So minimum number of side or line segment required to form a closed polygon is 3. That's why we have started our nomenclature of polygon with number of sides 3, and its name is triangle. Similarly, for onwards you can check this table. In general, if a polygon has n sides, polygon of n is the number of sides. This alphabet small n represents the number of sides. In general, if a polygon of n sides, or if it does have n sides, then it is called n-sided polygon. Now comes the definition for diagonal of a polygon. Line segments joining any 2 non-consecutive vertices of a polygon is called its diagonal. First of all, we must know what are vertices of a polygon. Vertices are the intersection points of the line segment or the sides of the polygon. Suppose in a triangle there are 3 line segments. Line segment A, AB, line segment BC, and line segment CA. Then this point A, which is the intersection point of line segment BA and CA, is called vertices of this triangle, vertex of this triangle. similarly the vertex B, and similarly the vertex C. These 3 points A, B, C, which are the intersection points of the line segments or the sides of the polygon, are called vertices of the polygon. So what is the diagonal of a polygon is line segment joining any two non-consecutive vertices are called diagonals. So in triangle you can see that if I take vertex C, then its non-consecutive vertex means the vertex which is not on the either sides of C, means non-adjacent vertex. So both B and A are its consecutive vertex. That's why in a triangle, for any vertex there is no non-consecutive vertex. So there is no diagonal in a triangle. In a triangle there is no non-consecutive vertex for any vertex. That's why a triangle does not have a diagonal. So triangle doesn't have any diagonal. Now check the diagonals of quadrilateral. So what is the definition of quadrilateral? It is a polygon which have 4 line segments, or a closed figure which is bounded by 4 line segments as its side. So a general figure which we obtain for a polygon is like this. This is a closed figure which is obtained by 4 line segments. Line segment A, B, line segment BC, line segment CD, and line segment DA. These are 4 line segments AB, BC, CA and DA, which when intersect at vertex A, B, C and D gives us a closed plane polygon, closed plane figure of 4 sides called quadrilateral. Now checking the definition of diagonal in case of a quadrilateral, we can see that choosing vertex A, at first we can see that vertex B and vertex D are its consecutive vertex. Vertex B and D are consecutive vertex with respect to vertex A. So the remaining vertex is C. So C is the non-consecutive vertex for vertex A. By joining C and A, I will obtain a line segment which is called diagonal of quadrilateral. So AC is one of the diagonal of quadrilateral ABCD. Similarly, you can check for vertex B that vertex C and vertex A are its consecutive vertex. That's why the remaining vertex is D. So by joining vertex B and vertex D, we will obtain another line segment BD, which is also a diagonal of quadrilateral ABCD. Here Q dot represent quadrilateral ABCD. Now you can check for vertex C and D. You will obtain the same diagonal by joining vertex C with vertex A as CA or AC, and by joining vertex B with vertex D and obtaining the diagonal BD, which is same as obtained earlier. So there are 2 diagonals AC and BD in case of a quadrilateral. You can also check the definition of diagonals of a polygon for other higher number of sides polygon. Those polygon which have more than 4 sides. For example, pentagon, hexagon. You can also draw and check the number of polygons in those cases. Sorry, the number of diagonals for those polygons which have more than 4 sides. Draw the figures of pentagon, hexagon, heptagon, octagon, nonagon and decagon and check what are the number of diagonals in those polygons. Now the concept of convex polygon. if all the interior angles of a polygon are less than 180 degree, then it is called a convex polygon. For example, this is a polygon having three sides and it is called a triangle. Now these three angles are called the interior angles of the triangle ABC. Angle CAB, comma angle ABC and angle BCA. These angles are called the interior angles of the polygon or triangle. So if all these interior angle in any polygon are less than 180 degree, then that polygon is called convex polygon. Then that polygon is called convex polygon. Alright, now checking the definition for concave polygon, it is that if any one interior angle of a polygon is more than 180 degree, then it is called concave polygon. For example, let us see this polygon. You can see that it is a quadrilateral because it is a closed figure and it is bounded by four line segments: line segment AB, line segment BC, line segment CD and line segment DA. These are four line segments. When intersect at different points ABCD gives us a closed plane figure which is quadrilateral. Now you can see that in this figure, angle ABC, the interior angle ABC is greater than 180 degree. Angle ABC is greater than 180 degree. That's why this is a concave polygon or a concave quadrilateral. So any polygon in which only one angle is greater than 180 degree, then it is called a concave polygon. Now comes the regular polygon. A polygon is a regular polygon if all its sides have equal length and all the interior angles are equal in measure. A polygon is called a regular polygon if all its sides have equal length and all the interior angles are equal in measure. Then that polygon is called a regular polygon. For example, let us see a triangle having all its three sides equal and all its interior angles of equal measure. Suppose all its side measures x centimeter. The measure of all its sides is x centimeter and all its interior angle is y degrees. Then this triangle, because it is a polygon, now it is a regular polygon, regular triangle, because forcefully we have made all the sides of this triangle equal and all the interior angles of this triangle equal in measure. So by the definition of regular polygon, this triangle is a regular triangle. Similarly, let us try to make a quadrilateral which have all its sides equal in length. Suppose x dash centimeter, all the sides measures x dash centimeter and all the angles measures z degrees. Then this is a regular quadrilateral. I think you are clear with the definition of regular polygon. A polygon which have all its sides equal in length and all its angles, interior angles equal in measure. Then it is called a regular polygon. Now there are some important points which we must have remember. The derivation of those which we will study in high standards in 8th or 9th standard, but at this step we just have to memorize them so that they will be helpful in solving examples. The sum of all the interior angles of a convex polygon of n sides is 2n minus 4 into 90 degrees. First point is sum of all the interior angles of a convex polygon of n sides. N is the number of sides, is 2n minus 4 multiplied by 90 degree. This notation represents the sum of all the interior angles, where n is number of sides that polygon have. The second point is the sum of exterior angles of a convex polygon is 360 degree or 4 right angles. The sum of exterior angles of a convex polygon is 360 degree. The third point is each interior angle of a regular polygon of n sides is each interior angle of a regular polygon. Now you can see that sum of all the angles, all the interior angles of a convex polygon having n sides is 2n minus 4 multiplied by 90. And by definition of regular polygon, we know that all the interior angles are equal of that polygon if it is regular. So by unitary method, we can conclude that each interior angle of a regular polygon is 2n minus 4 multiplied by 90 degree divided by n, because a polygon of n sides, a regular polygon of n sides has n interior angles, n numbers of interior angles, because if it has n line segments or n sides by intersecting which we obtain that polygon, then n line segments intersects at n distinct points if taken two at a time or if taken in pairs. Alright, so we obtain n vertex in an n sided polygon, and n vertex, n number of vertex leads us to n angles. So each interior angle of a regular polygon which have n sides is 2n minus 4 into 90 degree divided by n. This is the measure of one interior angle of a regular polygon of n sides. The fourth point is each exterior angle of a regular polygon of n sides is 360 divided by n, 360 degree divided by n, where n is the number of sides. So you can see that sum of all the exterior angles of a convex polygon is 360 degree which have n sides. Now if that convex polygon is a regular polygon of n sides, then all the exterior angles are equal, and we know the sum of all the exterior angles as 360 degrees. So measure of one angle is 360 divided by n degrees by unitary method. Now the fifth important result is if a polygon has n sides, then the number of diagonals of the polygon is n multiplied by n minus 3 divided by 2. Remember this result because it is very important result which is used in solving various problems. All these 5 results are very important. The proof of these results we will do in high standards, but at this point just remember them for solving problems. Now let us see one example. If the sum of interior angles of a polygon is 1620 degrees, then find the number of sides. It is given that sum of all the interior angles of a polygon is equals to 1620 degrees, then we have to find the number of sides of that polygon. So by using the direct result or the formula for sum of all the interior angles of a polygon of n sides, we can say that suppose that polygon has n sides, then sum of its interior angle is 2n minus 4 multiplied by 90 degrees, and it is given equals to 1620 degrees. Then by equating these two terms, we will get 2n minus 4. Here the 90 is in multiplication, so it goes on right hand side and in division. So 1620 degrees divided by 90 degrees. So we will get 18, which is equals to 18. So 2n minus 4 equals to 18. That's why 2n is equals to 18 plus 4, which is equals to 22. That implies n is equals to 11, or 22 divided by 2. That means the number of sides of that polygon whose sum of all the interior angle is 1620 is 11. Now it is all about the basics of a polygon. We have to specifically study about triangle in this standard. So coming on to the topic of triangle. First of all, we will start with some definitions and concepts. So triangle, it is a figure or it is a polygon, plane figure made by three line segments joining in pair, or out of these three line segments we have to take two at a time, and whose intersection give us the vertex of that triangle. A triangle is a closed plane figure obtained by three line segments joining in pair. In pairs means out of those three line segments we have to take two at a time, intersect them, which gives us a vertex. Similarly repeating this process for 3 times, because out of 3 line segments we can choose 2 at a time with 3 ways. So those 3 ways or those 3 line segments in pair give us 3 vertex obtained by intersecting those 2 lines, and the figure formed by those 3 line segments and under those 3 vertex is triangle. So triangle is a closed plane figure obtained by 3 line segments joining in pairs, gives us 3 non-collinear points. Those non-collinear points are known as vertex of the triangle. These points are known as vertex or the vertices. Vertex is a singular and vertices is plural of vertex. Vertices of the triangle. So a general figure of a triangle is like this. It has 3 sides, or it is obtained by intersecting 3 line segments at 3 non-collinear points, which are its vertex A, B and C. So the line segments are, or the sides of the triangle are AB, BC and CA. These are sides of the triangle ABC. So first is the definition for sides, which I have given. It is the line segments forming the triangle, and for the above figure the line segments are AB, BC and CA. So AB, BC and CA are the sides of the triangle ABC. Now second concept or the definition which comes for a triangle is vertex. Those points at which the sides of the triangle intersects are called the vertex of the triangle. So for this given figure, point A, point B and point C are the vertex of the triangle ABC. Now comes the angles of the triangle. By referring angle, we refer to the interior angles of the triangle. By default, if we just mention the angles of any polygon, we mean the interior angles of that polygon. So for a triangle ABC, let us suppose the triangle ABC, these three interior angles which I am highlighting on the figure, naming the angles as angle CBA, angle BAC and angle ACB. These angles are called the angles of the triangle. They must be the interior angle of the polygon. So angles of a triangle are the interior angles of the triangle. So I think you are clear with all the three parts of the triangle: the line segment, which are also called the sides, the intersecting points of those line segments, which are also called the vertex, and the angles of the triangle, which are interior angles of the triangle. So these three constitutes the elements of triangle. So there are three types of element in a triangle. The basic elements of the triangle are of three types. The first is the sides, the second is the vertex, and the third is the angles.